Hello and welcome. I'm Emma Turton. I'm a medical intuitive and founder and director of Medical Intuition School. And today I've been guided to speak about weight loss and the whole journey of weight loss from a medical intuitive perspective. We've just had this beautiful conversation in my reset protocol group, which I'm running at the moment, and you can still jump in if you want to before the price rises. You can still join us. There's people joining now, so they'll be running through it with you if you do join. You won't be alone. Say hi if you come live. Let me know that you're here, and if you're watching the replay, give me the hashtag after party, join in the replay, join in the party here. So I'm talking all about weight loss today, and this is a topic I don't think I've really spoken about in here before. I speak about it all the time in the work that I do, but I don't think I've actually really spoken to you about it in this way. And so I'm speaking about it from the point of view of a medical intuitive perspective. So I want to, hi Lisa, yay, thanks for joining me live. So nice to have you here for our live vibes party. What I'm doing is going to speak all about weight loss. And Mark, good morning. So nice to see you here. Thank you so much for joining me live. So speaking about weight loss from that perspective of medical intuition, why do we gain weight? Why is it hard to lose weight? Why is it so much harder to lose weight than it is to gain weight? Why does it come back so easily when we lose weight? What happens when weight loss plateaus? If we're losing weight and suddenly it plateaus out, what's actually going on there from a medical intuitive perspective? And so I'm going to be speaking all about that today. Let me know in the comments if you have any particular questions about weight loss, and I will speak to those as well. But I want to just make sure that I am able to be seen on here. Yep, it's all coming through okay. Let me know if you have any issues with my feed. So speaking about weight loss, it's such a hot topic, and it's one that affects so many of us at various points in our life, regardless of our background, regardless of our culture, regardless of our gender, regardless of even our age, our point in our life. At some point in life, usually our weight, whether it's weight loss or weight gain, will affect every single one of us. And I want to speak specifically. So of course, there are people who struggle to maintain their healthy weight in that they stay underweight. That's a whole other topic. Today I want to talk about being overweight and why that happens, why we gain weight. I'm just distracting myself here with a video that just popped up. Stuff pops up when you got lots of screens. So why do we gain weight? So just feeling into the reasons why we gain weight. As a medical intuitive, I have the absolute privilege of being able to connect in with people in a way that perhaps other health professionals don't, but also in a way that gives me an incredible insight into a vast number of people. And of course, for everybody, there are different reasons why we gain weight in terms of it being multifactorial, being lots of different, whether it's food or diet, whether it's lifestyle. Those are the things most of us know about. What I want to talk about here today is the actual medical intuitive side. So yes, we can gain weight because we're eating perhaps more carbohydrates or sugars, or we're having more calories than we're burning. But that's not as interesting to me as the real reason behind that, why we're gaining weight and what that weight actually signifies for us. And I speak today not just from my experience of working with, many hundreds of clients, thousands probably, I haven't really done the math, thousands of clients having worked through this type of issue with many people and having dug deeper into what's going on behind the scenes. It's much more complex than it at first appears. We gain weight for a number of metaphysical reasons, the real deeper meaning behind why we gain weight. And there can be a number of different triggers to gaining weight in terms of our metaphysiology. But when I talk about metaphysiology, I'm talking about the beliefs, the emotions, the traumas, the experiences that happen that create our physical experience. And so essentially, if you have been gaining weight, if you have gained more weight than you would like to have, or you are not your healthy weight, you're above your healthy weight, what's happened is that you have laid down protection. So your body has felt unsafe for whatever reason, and there may be many, there may be several, and it may be very unique to you what that reason is, but you have felt unsafe. And that is what is behind the drive behind the body's reorganization of metabolism, the body's reorganization of hormones, the body's reorganization of the hunger drive, the body's reorganization of satiety when you feel full, the body's reorganization of how it deals with the foods and drinks that you put into the system, and how it deals with your relationships, how it deals with your work, how it deals with your environment as well. So your body is seeking safety and protection. And that is the reason why you gain weight. And so I'm not speaking just from my own experience of working with clients. I'm speaking also from my own personal experience. I used to be obese. And I have also gone through a weight loss journey. And when I dug into the real reasons why I'd gained weight, that's what changed everything for me. I didn't need a diet to lose weight then. It started to fall away as I went through the process that I share in the work that I do. But this is what I'm speaking from here today as well. So if you have found your weight is above where you would like it to be, where you are comfortable with your weight being, then on some level, because of something that has happened, perhaps in this life, perhaps in a previous one, but often it is within this life, because so many things happen within this life to make us feel unsafe, that you feel that you need, that you feel unsafe. Your body in particular, which is your intuitive conduit, it's your intuitive channel, feels unsafe. And so it lays down a layer of protection. And so fat stores are a really beautiful layer of fuel protection. So you have a store of emergency fuel in case you need it. It's a store of that physical fuel in terms of the fat cells. They're a little bit like a battery store, keeping spare batteries in the cupboard. It's a little bit like that. And what also happens though is that we form a protective physical layer around our body that protects us visually. It protects us, in terms of our visibility. It protects us in terms of our interaction with others and how we are perceived by others as well. And so it gives us a barrier in a way on that metaphysical level. And so, and there's absolutely no judgment here. I don't see being overweight as being bad. It's information from the body. Our body is asking for some support. That's all it is. And we can be healthy and happy and have a little bit more weight than perhaps what our BMI says we should have, because BMI is a pretty inaccurate guide. But what we can do is notice this information. We can connect in with this part of us and go, hey, that's interesting. Has there been a trauma? Has there been an occurrence or a relationship issue? Has there been something that has made me feel unsafe to be here? That has made me feel unsafe within my body, has made me feel unsafe in my personality? Because often it is related to our very deep self-esteem. So around our solar plexus, our belly, it's often related very much to how we're seen in the world, how we're accepted by others, and how we show up in terms of our own boundaries and our own place in this world as our authentic self, as us, not with a facade. And so it can be very much deeply related to that and issues or traumas around that. And those things could be a relationship issue. They could be a rejection. It could be a pattern of abuse that may have happened either in a workplace or in life. It may be due to illness, that you've perhaps gone on a journey that's led you to feel unsafe within your body as well, and that has destabilized your metabolism, your hormones, your whole biochemical communication system within your body that helps you to stay stable and balanced. And so that level of unsafety, the longer that feeling of unsafety stays in your body, the longer you gain weight. The harder it will be for you to perhaps get on top of the reason why it showed up, because it may have been there a while. And it's not always just one thing. It can be layer upon layer of a reinforcement of a belief that you are not safe. And so it's about digging into not just the conscious beliefs, because you may think, but I don't have that belief. It's not the conscious beliefs, it's the subconscious beliefs. It's behind your conscious self, your thinking brain. It's deep within your nervous system. And if your nervous system does not feel safe, then you will gain weight for protection. And so, the fuel that's there for emergency reasons, if you are holding fuel like fat cells for emergency, and that's something that you don't have conscious control around, that's something that is a subconscious aspect within your body, then that is, that's something that your body is holding in case of a famine, in case of a time of great stress when you need to be able to access fuel really quickly, solid fuel fast. A time of great trauma where you need to perhaps run away, or you need to fight back, or you need to endure an ongoing abusive situation. So that can absolutely be the reasons behind why we gain weight, and that's often what is underlying at the deeper level. All of the other things, the environment, the diet, the lifestyle, because of course all our choices around that aren't just, I'm just going to choose to eat the apple instead of drink the beer. It's not that simple. Our choices come from our thoughts. Our thoughts come from our beliefs. And so it's about digging back into the beliefs. Once we sort out the background, the beliefs, then it's much, much easier to choose, make a different choice, to think something different and therefore choose differently from that point. It's very hard to change at the choice point if we haven't done the deeper belief work. And so that's why this is so important, to get to the real underlying reason why we lay down extra weight, and it's all about that protection and safety. So why is it so hard to lose that weight? That weight is so hard to lose. It's easy to gain because it's really easy for us to put up a protective barrier. It's easy for us to feel like we need to retreat behind that protective barrier. It's very hard to lose it because unless we feel safe on every level, we can't let go of that protective barrier. We can change our diet, we can starve ourselves, we can do juice fasts, we can do all the diets under the sun, we can do brutal, what do you call it when you go and you do horrible exercise? Tell me, I'm losing my words. When you go and you do really brutal exercise and you boot camp, there it is. You do brutal boot camp exercise, you could go to the gym every day, you can really punish yourself to try and lose weight. The more you punish yourself to lose weight, you might shed a little bit, but you know what? Your body still doesn't feel safe. I'm going to say that again. The more you punish yourself to lose weight, whether it's diet or lifestyle, exercise, whatever it might be, if your body still does not feel safe, you will be fighting uphill constantly the whole time. It will be a battle against your body. And until you lay down the weapons, until you stop battling your body and fighting your body will not feel safe to lose that weight and let go of it. So it's about bringing in real gentleness and safety, simplicity, and allowing your body to feel held and supported and safe. And then it will be ready to slowly release that weight. So it's often really easy to lose weight, and you may find you can, so it's hard to lose the weight, but you may find you can lose a lot and then you gain it back with interest, yeah? So you might go on a detox or a quick juice fast or something like that, and you might lose a chunk of weight. And you go, yes, awesome, okay, this is just the beginning, I'm gonna get everything else in order now. And then before you know it, within a couple of weeks of finishing, you've got all that weight back and a few extra kilos on top of that, pounds on top of that. So that is because what you did there was made your body feel less safe. So yes, it can lose the weight, but it's often what you lose in those juice fasts and those detoxes. You often lose your hormonal fat stores. You lose often the shape. So, women will often lose their boobs and their gentle curves before they lose anything else. It's often not necessarily the weight that you want to lose. It's why it can be really hard to lose, say, belly weight compared to other areas of your body, because what's happening is that's where you're feeling unsafe. That's where your body is trying desperately to protect itself. And of course, that's around those first, second, and third energy centers of the body. So that's around your connection with your family, with your tribe, your people around you, your community, with your workplace, with the people you work with your friends. It's around your connection with your own relationships, your intimate relationships, and around that respect within those intimate relationships and boundaries within them. It's around your own connection to yourself, within your own personality, within what you bring into this world and what lights you up and who you are and what you want to be doing in this world. It's that area of your body that you need the most protection around. So it's hard for you to lose that if you are going into an environment that that guilt trips you or shames you for being overweight. If you go into an environment that makes you feel like you are less than somebody else, if you're going into an environment that does public weigh-ins, that's a perfect example of where you will not feel safe. Public weigh-ins, yeah, they can be really motivating, but it's motivation through shame. And so losing weight from the areas around your belly will be much, much harder than it will be from any other area of your body, because that protection will stay there. Your body will not feel safe, and neither will the rest of you. And so it comes on very easily again after you've rapidly lost weight. So when you rapidly lose weight, if you go on, say, a juice fast or a cleanse, you're losing fluid. Sometimes you're losing muscle mass in that rapid weight loss. So you're not actually losing the fats. Sometimes you'll be shrinking your fat cells. You don't lose the fat cells. They stay there once we've gained them, but we can keep them under control with our hormones just by simply balancing them. And if you've got a hormonal imbalance, that's not a permanent thing. That's not something that needs to stay that way. It's not something that you were born with or that you inherited genetically. That gets switched on and switched off. Yeah, that's upregulated and downregulated in your genetics. Doesn't have to actually be active in your genes. You can make choices and behave in a way that has not happened to you. So you don't necessarily have to embrace that genetic history from your family. It doesn't need to be your story. So I invite you to let that go right now. If that's been your story, let it go. Find a new story. Let's see if we can create a new story for you, because the more you hold on to the story that it comes from your genes or your family, the more that's going to be true. So see the possibility and see your own potential in that, and release the stories that have been holding you captive. And so it comes back on really easily, because that rapid weight loss that can happen in that short time is not sustainable, because your body doesn't feel safe losing weight so quickly. It's had to quickly let go of weight, but it is desperate to put it back on because it feels very unstable in that situation. It's as though it's had its protective layer ripped off, like a band-aid ripped off, and it feels very vulnerable. It may feel really good for a bit. You might feel amazing in that you've lost a bit of weight. You may have lost some of the aches and pains that came with that. You may have lost some of the inflammation in your body that came with that. You may have some more clarity because you may be eating better. But very quickly, when you go back to eating normally, or if you bring in anything, your whole metabolism will be primed to throw all that weight back on, and with a few extra kilos, just in case you do that again. Just in case you do that again. So that you can stay protected, so you can stay safe. So every time you shed that weight fast, especially, if you go into things like water fasting, they can be very deeply therapeutic, but they can have this response too. If your nervous system in your body is primed to try and protect itself and stay safe, then they can feel very dangerous to your metaphysical body. They can feel very dangerous to your physical body as well. They may not be dangerous in terms of health risk, but they may be very dangerous in terms of feeling unstable and feeling at risk and feeling like we need more safety. So when we go back to eating again, our whole metabolism, all our hormones, our whole biochemical system is primed to gain at least as much as we had before, because you know what? We lost that really fast and it wasn't enough. So we add extra. And it's primed that way, which is why we have more weight come back on often when we have lost it quite fast. And so the ideal way to lose weight, and there's a lot of scientific research around this. The ideal way to lose weight in a sustainable way is to lose it very gradually. So not to have rapid weight loss, although it's fun and awesome to have rapid weight loss if you're trying to shed weight for an occasion that you're looking forward to, or trying to get into a dress for your wedding, or whatever that might be for you. It won't be as easy to sustain because your body doesn't feel safe. So the ideal is to actually lose about 0.5 kilo a week. That's what you want to aim for as an average. So yes, you may have some bits in there where there's more weight loss at the beginning and then it tapers out. And that is good because you want it to taper out to that average of 0.5 kilo a week. If it doesn't taper out to 0.5 kilo a week, then it will start to feel unsafe for your body, and it will be a difficult journey for you to continue to lose weight if that is your goal, if that is what is required for your body to be healthy. And that's about around about a pound a week for those in pounds. So you want to do that gently and gradually because that allows your body to feel safe as you're going along. It allows you to very slowly acknowledge, see, release that protective barrier that's in so many different forms as it wraps around you. And it allows you to feel safe and slowly ease into the new set point as you go as well. And so what happens when weight loss plateaus? So often you can find you go through weight loss and then it levels out and it plateaus, and then you feel like you just can't get any further. If you're on a particular weight loss regime, that can be very frustrating. And often I know a lot of weight loss programs have like, this is how to break through your plateau. This is what you want to do to try and bust through to the next level. All of those busting and breaking strategies feel really deeply unsafe to the human body. And when I feel into someone who's going through that, the whole body is screaming no. The whole body is priming itself to try and hold on to weight even more, like vividly, more firmer grip on the weight, because it doesn't want to let it go because it feels unsafe. And so the plateaus are actually really normal. The plateaus are a part of evening out the average weight loss. The plateaus are a part of the body going, okay, I've lost that bit. I just need to just feel safe where I'm at right now and expand gently into where I am now, feel into where my body is now, what's new for me now. Okay, now I know I'm safe. I can continue to shed a little bit more and to gradually shed weight from that perspective, from that point, as opposed to force our way through the plateau to break through to the next level, because that is the opposite of what the body is actually asking for. So, so much of my work is about communicating with the body and its needs. And so this is something that is so important. And I think I should be speaking about it more. I think we should all be speaking about it more, that the body has these needs and we should be honoring the body when it comes to this, asking it for what it needs. Sometimes it's confused because it just is so full of inflammation and full of all this background noise that it doesn't know what it needs, and it's hard for it to communicate to you. It's very hard to hear your body's intuition and intuitive guidance when you're full of inflammation and background noise. Inflammation creates background noise in the system, and it makes it very difficult to oops, my computer goes to sleep when I don't do anything. So it makes it very difficult for you to be able to hear what's really going on and connect in with your body in a potent and practical way. Because for me, intuition is deeply practical. It's not an abstract concept. For me, it's deeply practical. When you connect in with your body, when you release all that background noise, you have the ability to feel, hear, receive your intuition within your body, and it can guide you to make really powerful choices for you. It can guide you towards what nourishes you. It can guide you away from what doesn't right now at this point in your life, and that changes at different points in your life. So we can open up that intuitive channel even further than we perhaps have in the past. No matter how intuitive you already are, it can get wider and wider and wider the more safe your body feels, and the more you clear up that background noise, and the more you allow yourself to slowly and gently expand at a rate that feels safe to your nervous system and your metaphysical field as well. So let me know if you have any questions around this, because as I said, this isn't a topic I've spoken about out here at the front end before. So I'm happy to speak in more detail about any of this. But that is essentially what is happening around weight loss when it comes to, the metaphysical aspects of weight loss, the medical intuitive aspects of weight loss. And there's so much more to that, but really the key is finding what it is that has made you feel unsafe, peeling back the layers of those beliefs around that feeling of unsafety. And, and that can take a little bit of work, or it can happen, like that. It can be something that is just like a dawning moment realization shift, and then your whole nervous system can rewire, and then you can slowly and gently nurture the body back to a state of beautiful balance, particularly around your healthy weight. And so that is what we want. We want to aim for that safety and not stimulating that need for protection, which is what has perhaps happened in the past. If you have done a lot of diets, if you have, had that yo-yoing of your weight, if you have gone through, juice fast after juice fast, water fast, if you've done all the boot camp and you've tried all of these turning of new leaves, and all of that just feels like it's exhausting in your system, it's because it is. It's exhausting to your body, not in a way that is, exercise, good exhaustion, and that you've worked hard and your body needs rest and rest feels really nourishing, in a way that is damaging to the system. It's not a permanent damage. So I want you to know that as well. This isn't permanent damage. It doesn't permanently damage your metabolism, but it primes it to feel unsafe. And as soon as it's primed to feel unsafe, it's very hard to lose weight unless you know and are fully aware and can start to embrace in every area of your life that safety. Because what we hold within our body, when we hold a layer of protective fat cells around the outside of our body, what we hold within those fat cells and between those fat cells, so within them we hold that emergency fuel. Between them we hold onto toxins, but not just toxins as in, what we ingest in our body, what we rub on our body. Those two, yes. And if we've had any illness, sometimes some of the toxic remnants of that, the debris, can be there between our fat cells as well. And the fat cells come around to help protect that. Yeah. So the fat cells actually come in and wrap themselves around all of the crap that we have eaten and that we've put on our body, that our body doesn't know how to deal with those chemicals. The fat cells come in and wrap themselves around that to protect us from them. And then we store them. And often that can start to look like lumpy or cellulitic type fat. But the other thing that's actually stored between and within our fat cells are our toxic relationships. They are our toxic choices, our toxic self-talk, our toxic work environment, all of the toxicity that's outside of us that we allowed in, energetic toxicity as well. If we go seeking down rabbit holes on social media and poison our brain so that we're tossing and turning all night, wondering if the world is, in the midst of an apocalypse, if we are doing that to ourselves every night, that is an energetic toxicity that we are inviting in. We store that in a protective layer in our body, outside of our body. And so that is something that we store under our skin, within our fat cells and between our fat cells. Our body needs to protect itself from all of that toxicity that we are inviting in from our outside world. So the invitation here is to get really real and really honest about what in your life feels toxic, which friendships, which relationships feel toxic. Doesn't mean they all have to go, but it means they need to have a close examination. They need to perhaps be, go through a detox. They need to perhaps go through a decluttering to work out what is no longer in alignment. And to, shift things to the next level. If it's a friendship that's really important to you and it's become a bit toxic, then work through what's coming up for you with that friend. Ask that friend some questions. Sit down and have a few hard conversations. If they're a really good friend and they've been in your life a long time and it's really worth it to make it through to the other side, they'll be willing to have those conversations with you because you know what? They'll be feeling it too on some level. The same goes for a partner. If you have a toxic relationship with your partner, do the work around that. Not just you do the work and hope that they magically get better. Have the conversations, have the difficult conversations, invite them in to declutter that toxicity, because if you're feeling it's toxic, it's going to be toxic at the other end as well. We are never just an island that just, has other things happening to us. All of these things are happening for you, but they are happening for you in a way that allows you to do that deeper work, to dig deeper into why, to learn lessons from that, but also to be the mirror for those around you as well, so that they are inspired to grow alongside you if they're ready to do so. They may not be ready to do so, but if they are, they can. They have that opportunity. You don't have to flick them out the door. You can invite them to come on the journey of growth with you. And your relationship may go to whole new heights of joy simply because you've gone through that process. And, if you're in a toxic work environment, then examine that. Why is that environment toxic? Is it the actual, just the place you're working and the people there? Is it the actual work you're doing that's toxic? Is it just not lighting you up and it's wearing you down? All of that gets stored within and between the fat cells. So the thing about going on a deep journey into slowly bringing your body back into balance, and if you get the bonus of losing weight because your body starts to feel really safe and falling back into its health baseline again, part of that journey is decluttering all of those things too, because as you lose the fat cells, as you release the weight, as you allow those fat cells to shrink down and release the stuff that's stuck between them, the toxic stuff that's stuck between them, and your body knows it's safe to process that and excrete it. It's not just physical excretion. You have energetic excretion and processing going on as well. So all of that is there to be dealt with as well. So you will find any of these protocols, any of these processes you go through, if you go on a huge life change, and let us know in the comments if you relate to this, if this resonates for you. If you've gone on a huge health journey yourself, you will have found that all of the things in your life that were out of alignment will have simmered up to the surface to be dealt with. That you will have had to declutter your home, your relationships, your work, your choices in every single aspect of your life. Your self-talk will need to be decluttered as a part of it. You will find that you will have changed and up-leveled so many aspects of your life because it's slowly seeping back in and releasing from between the fat cells within your body to be processed, integrated, and released, excreted from the system, energetically and physically. So it's a much deeper process than just calories in equals calories out. And you know what? Not all calories are created equally, and they all react differently in your unique body. Everybody is unique. Not one diet suits everybody. Every single body is unique, including yours, and it has really specific needs. So there may be various diet theories that work for you, but they are unique to you. They will not necessarily work for everybody else. And so it's about really finding how to nourish your body to bring it back into that state of balance so that you are able to feel safe enough to release the reasons why you gain the weight in the first place. And that is how we create sustained weight loss. It's about that gentle, nurturing safety that we create and that gentle, slow, steady release of not just the actual weight itself, but all the reasons why the weight showed up in the first place, the reasons why it stayed, the reasons why it continued to persist through more relationships, through more traumas, through more experiences, and through more, jobs, through all aspects of your life. That's the true reason why we need to have that slow and steady, sustained journey, as opposed to a rapid, quick fix type journey. Anytime you're being asked to do something that feels really brutal to your system, you will not feel safe and it will be hard for you to lose that weight. And so, if even a really gentle protocol feels really unsafe for you, then I definitely invite you to perhaps consider getting some counseling around that and around the reasons why that is the case, around the reasons why you are feeling that level of unsafety, that level of danger within your system. So I invite you to do that, because taking it deeper to that level is what's going to make all the difference. It's not about necessarily focusing on what you eat. It's the other stuff that happens at the time. That's what makes all the difference. And when we do focus on what we eat, when we do become very intentional with our food choices, then it allows everything else to sort itself out and fall away. And so if you have any questions around this, please do ask. I'd like to invite you also that if you are really keen to really shift your health into the next level, to reset your health and supercharge your intuition with food, I am currently running a live round, the first ever, and I don't know if it's going to be the last, it might be, the first ever live round of the Reset Protocol, which is the protocol I devised originally to heal myself and have used with many clients and had incredible results, and are currently having incredible results in the group. We started back in February, but it's going on for quite a few more weeks yet, and it's still running live. You can join now for the current price. It will be tripling in a few weeks. Once the live round finishes, the price will be going up, and you will still be able to buy it, but as an evergreen product that won't be run live. So right now you can join in, you can share your whole journey, you can be a part of the group, you can tap into all of the Brains Trust and get this beautiful inspiration from all the people who are in there. I will drop the link in the comments if you are interested. So it is there for you if you would like to check it out. Do know that if you look at it and go, oh, but it started before now, that's totally okay. Everyone is at their own pace going through it. So everyone doesn't have to be starting at the same point. There are people that for various reasons couldn't start when I started. I'm doing the protocol too. I'm going through it too, and I've had incredible results. My pain has gone from a regular 9 out of 10. I've had lots and lots of chronic pain that has arisen over the last few months. And so my daily 9 out of 10 pain has decreased to 0, which is freaking amazing. I feel so much younger, and I actually had a birthday at the beginning of the protocol, so I literally got older but now feel 5 years younger, which I love. So and I've also lost weight, which was a bonus. That wasn't my aim, but I've gone through this protocol and come out going, oh my god, I forgot how powerful this is to go through and experience. And everyone is now shouting from the rooftops about how amazing their body's feeling and the benefits they're having in their health. This isn't a weight loss protocol. This is a health reset process that also supercharges your intuition. And so it's a beautiful way for you to get to know your body, to super connect that physical body with your divine self, with your intuitive self, and to allow you to take everything to the next level in terms of your intuition, in terms of your health, in terms of your symptoms, which are your body's messages. Lisa says, for anyone thinking about joining, don't hesitate. So worth it. Oh, thank you, Lisa. How great is it? You've just been an absolute champion for so many people in there. Thank you for sharing that. You're just, like a shining light, because you were leading the way before we even started, having started before all the rest of us. So it's been fantastic to see what you have gained and what you have shared throughout this as well. Gaining so much in terms of health, shedding so much in terms of what no longer served you. So it's just been such an inspiring journey to watch you. Thank you for sharing that. So it's a really beautiful process. It's been a blast. Yeah, it has been a blast. I'm loving doing this live. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before. I've been using this protocol myself for years and with clients for years, and I never thought of running it live. And I've never actually shared my own results when I've been doing the protocol. I've done it many, many times myself, and I've never actually shared it. So it's actually really great for me to share that with people, to let them know what I'm experiencing as I go through in real time. Because so is everybody else. So you're getting to see what's normal in the protocol. We're talking about what happens in there, and you get to keep access to that. It's lifetime access as well. So starting now doesn't mean you're going to get cut off and have to finish early. You can take your time through it, start it when it's right for you, and you've got all of that there. And I'm still there within the group to answer your questions. If you join within this time, I'll still be there. I'm not going anywhere. There's still quite a few live trainings left, so you can still join in all of that. So it's not over. It's not over yet. The party is still going, and it's so great. And I'm so excited by the results and what people are sharing everywhere, all over the socials, which is so good too. To just shout it from the rooftops how powerful the process is. So if you would like to go through this process to start to lean into really honoring and nurturing your body, to start to feel safe within your body and release symptoms. That's one of the best parts of this. I released my pain symptoms very, very quickly, and it had been hanging around for quite a few months. So I released all of that within the first week, and then had a few, little blips and things here and there, and now I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. It's just gone over 4 weeks now, and I feel absolutely fantastic, which is just amazing. And it was really 2 weeks. I felt like I was in a new body already. That's no time at all. And that wasn't about my weight, that was about my health. Because health is so much more important. Once you get that health balance right, your weight stabilizes itself. It's just a bonus. You don't have to actually diet to try and lose weight. And there's no deprivation in this protocol either. You get to eat when you're hungry. You get to learn about your hunger. You get to, it's just about what you eat and when and what you do with that. So what you learn from that process. So it's so beautiful and so gentle, and even those people within the protocol who had struggled elsewhere to get on top of things, health issues, and perhaps weight issues as well, they're feeling beautifully safe within it. They feel deeply connected to their body now. They actually are able to make these beautiful intuitive decisions for themselves as they go through, because they've learnt how as they've gone through this protocol. They feel deeply connected because the background noise has cleared up within their system. They already can see how healthy they can be because they've actually experienced their health baseline for the first time, I think for many people in years. And they're actually able to thrive from that point and make choices from that point, which I absolutely love witnessing. It's the most amazing thing to witness. So if you want to join us, the link is there. Feel free to click through and join us. At the moment, it's relatively inexpensive. It's a great way to come in and have access to me. If you have specific health conditions, feel free to message me and we can talk through whether or not it's right for you before you join. That's totally okay. I know not everyone wants to write that in the comments on a public video. That's totally okay. You can message me on my page and you can have a chat through what's actually going on for you, whether or not it's right for you. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been such a powerful conversation around why we gain weight and around the obesity and weight gain from that medical intuitive perspective. And I think it's so important for us to not be speaking about it from accusation point or guilt or shame, because it's just a sign from our body. It's just information from our body. It's communication from our body to say, hey, I'm not feeling safe right now. What can you do to make me feel safer? I'm trying to support you by protecting you. What can you do to support me so I don't need to work so hard to protect you all the time? So that I can put my resources towards other things like keeping your organs healthy or keeping your joints healthy or helping your brain to function better. How can you support your body to be able to feel safe enough to do that, regardless of what the scales say? And then your body can find its own healthy set point again, which I think is a much happier place to be when we're looking at weight. There's so much self-blame. There's so much self-criticism when it comes to looking at scales. And I see the scales as a mirror for our self-esteem. If you look at the scales and you hate getting on them or you feel like they're judging you, that's the mirror for what's actually going on inside your head. And so as confronting as that can be, sit with that, see that, look at the scales and go, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know I was thinking that. I didn't know I was feeling that. Because the scales actually aren't judging you. They don't care. They're just an objective measure. They don't care whether you're high or low weight, whether you're more or less than you were the day before. The scales are not judging you. They're just an objective measure. So start to see them as that if you can, and start to dig deep into what comes up for you when you look at those scales, when you step on those scales, because that is a mirror for where your self-esteem is at. And that is an invitation for you to dig deeper into that self-esteem, to dig deeper into loving and nourishing your body and feeling safe within your body and finding ways to make yourself feel safer. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me live. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, Mark. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you to all of you who have joined me live. And thank you to those who have watched the replay. Please do share any questions or comments. I'm more than happy to have a whole discussion around this. It's a big topic and it's a really important one that I think isn't always addressed all that well. I see, in the health and wellness world, that it can be addressed in a very judgmental way. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks. I think it can be addressed in that way, and I don't see it as being, it's not. Yes, our decisions and our choices can lead us to that point, but if the body is feeling unsafe, we can't help but make the decisions that are going to help us try and make us feel safer. We cannot help that. It's not a conscious thing. We will only keep making decisions and choosing the things that will try and make us feel safer while our body is feeling unsafe and laying down protective layer. And so that's not your fault. Yeah, that's not your fault. We can dig into the reasons why that's come up and we can start to work through the beliefs that have been laid down around that as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, no matter where you are in the world. Bye now.